Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Friday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. So, with warm weather being right around the corner, and since we're already getting out of the winter season, I decided to kind of review a beer that is getting me prepped up for warm weather and making me feel some kind of summer vibes. And we left it up to 903 Brewers to help kind of get that fix of getting ready for warm weather today. You guys all know that I love beers from 903. They do a lot of stouts. They do a lot of fruited Berliner Weisses and fruited sours. And this one is another fruited Berliner Weiss from them called Up Bar Slushy. It's like themed after, you know, those like bars in like tropical places where they're actually in a swimming pool, so you could swim up to the bar and just have a drink or something. Well, this is pretty much the embodiment of that. To this, it's a 6.2% ABV fruited Berliner Weiss made with pineapple, orange, cherry, and coconut, which is going to be definitely interesting. Really bring off pina colada vibes. I'm really curious of what kind of colors the cherry is going to bring in, if it's going to bring a nice tartness as well, but I'm expecting just loads and loads of tropical fruit flavor in this one. Pineapple should be coming through, since it usually comes through pretty predominantly. So we're going to definitely see if like the pineapple and the coconut are definitely going to work well together. But, of course, with this being a fruited Berliner Weiss, being like kind of slushy style of beer, there's always a couple recommendations I like to give out when it comes to drinking this style of beer, just so you can have an overall great drinking experience while you're using it. First off, when you buy it, always want to keep it refrigerated, because there's fruit puree in there, and you want to make sure that none of the fruits keep fermenting if you're leaving it out room temperature, all that good stuff, because the fruit will continue to ferment if you leave it in like a warmer kind of area, and that's when you'll notice like more like the can starting to expand because there's CO2 building up in the can, and then that will cause, when you open it, to have it explode everywhere on you. So always make sure this stuff is refrigerated, and then when you take it out of the fridge, give it a couple rolls on the countertop, get all that puree moving around in there. You want everything suspended so you can have a very nice even pour when you pour it into a glass. And then something that a lot of people don't talk about, but is what I do when I'm bringing it to where I ever want to drink it, I'm holding the can upside down, just so the stuff that was all sitting on the bottom right there starts getting suspended and working through the rest of the can, just so when you pour it, it's going to be an overall very even kind of thick and kind of pour. So without further ado, I'll be drinking this out of my deciduous brewing company glass, just because this is like my sour glass. So let's crack this guy open and see what this thing's like on the nose, because I'm curious of how tropical fruity this is going to be. Maybe the coconut's going to come through heavy on the nose. I don't know. We'll find out. So let's see what we got on the nose. Oh yeah, right off the bat. Pineapple, coconut in your face. Nice sweetness. Getting a little bit of that cherry in there. Maybe it's like a maraschino cherry kind of thing going on there. Oh yeah, this smells awesome. Absolutely fantastic. I really am a big fan of like the tropical fruited Berliner Weisses, just because pineapple, the coconuts, and the orange, they add the citrus, maybe a little bit of citrusy tartness should overall be just an absolutely delicious kind of drink. So let's pour this guy and see what this thing's like on the pour. Oh yeah, definitely thick. And of course, when I'm about halfway through the pour, I like to stop, give it a quick swirl, make sure everything's all good and suspended, and then pour the rest of it in so you get a nice even pour throughout the entire beer. And look at that. That looks absolutely delicious. Definitely has those kind of orangish colors due from the pineapple, but bringing off some really nice colors. Nice kind of frothy head almost. You could definitely tell there's a lot of puree that kind of sits at the top, most likely either from the orange or maybe from the pineapple as well. But yeah, still getting a lot of the pineapple and the coconut. A little bit less on the cherry after I pour it, but still tastes absolutely delicious. So without further ado, it's time for us to give this guy a try. So cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Yeah, that's fantastic. Definitely has the consistency of like pulpy orange juice, just from all the pulp and all that stuff from the oranges and maybe from the pineapple in there. Has a really nice sweetness, almost getting like a cinnamon sugar sweetness in there. Pineapple mixes in really well. The orange brings off like a bright citrusy flavors. And then the coconut's definitely a more mellow one. It just kind of is very cohesive throughout the entire drink. But it's not like you're getting it on its own coconut flavor. So with the cherry, pineapple, the coconut, it's just one cohesive tropical greatness in it. And 903 did a fantastic job. I'm definitely getting some kind of like bakery kind of elements in this, which is definitely interesting. but it tastes absolutely delicious. Yeah, that's awesome. So let's see here. And of course, we like to go over to Untappd because Untappd is a great kind of platform you guys hear me talk about all the time. But we like to go over to Untappd and see what they show for similar beers to this one. So because if you can't get your hands on this one from 903, you may be able to get your hands on one from a different brewery that I list off in these similar beers. So let's take a look and see what they got. We got one here from Southern Grist Brewing Company called the Banana Colada Melted Snow Cone, which is a 4% like smoothie pastry kind of sour, which that's definitely already on the top of the list of something you're going to have. Probably that's going to be a really similar drinking experience. What else we got? We got one here from Youngblood Beer Company called Tavern Cut versus Pie Cut, which is a fruited sour with mango, passion fruit, orange, and guava. Nah, I wouldn't really consider that one. That definitely doesn't look like it has any like kind of bakery, almost like smoothie kind of components to it. And then we got one here from Tin Whiskers Brewing Company called Rainbow Road, which is a fruited sour. Again, these are looking more like kettle sours. Let's see, you got rainbow sherbet flavor. So maybe you might get some similar kind of flavors with this one. But overall, with this kind of beer, you're definitely going to want to keep track of something that's going to have similar mouthfeel because it's going to be thick. It's going to be like drinking a smoothie practically. And if you're going to be getting these kettle sours that may have the same fruit profiles, you may have the same flavors, but mouthfeel is also going to be something that's going to be lacking. And then the last one they have here, which is one that I've had before from Great Notion Brewing, which is a Ramble on the Rose, which I wouldn't really consider this one similar. It's a tart fruit ale when it comes to using, I think, like raspberry, and I know they use like roses in it too, like rosé or something like that. So to be honest, I don't think that one's going to be similar in my opinion. I think the most similar one is probably going to be this one from Southern Grist, which is the Banana Colada Melted Snow Cone. That is the one that I think is going to be the most similar to this. It's definitely going to leave off more of those kind of smoothie pastry style fruited sour flavors. Of course, maybe getting a little bit of that bakery note. Of course, having the pineapple and the coconut puree in there is definitely going to help bring out similar flavor profiles. But the one we're drinking today is a little bit higher in ABV. This one from Southern Grist is definitely lower because it's a 4%, when the one we're drinking today is at a 6.2. So maybe a little bit lighter on flavor with that one. But other than that, yeah, I think that one is going to be the closest one you can get your hands on that they show out as similar beer to this Up Bar Slushy from 903. So next, what do we got here? Let's go and see if anybody of my friends, let's check this one in. I don't think they did. But let's go back here and see what they show a description of this one. Of course, it's pretty much just the same thing I read off the can. It's the Up Bar Slushy. This batch is packed full of pineapple, orange, cherry, and coconut, which, it says there right on the can. And with it being a 6.2 ABV, definitely already automatically puts it in the realm of being sessionable, in my opinion. And let's see. With over 512 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.17 out of 5, which is pretty damn phenomenal. For only, I don't know if this is definitely not, I don't consider this one of 903's bigger releases. This one definitely just randomly came up on Tavor for me one day. I was like, hey, that sounds good. I like 903's fruited bitter Weisses, so let's get it. And definitely showing here that doesn't really have that many check-ins on it with only 512, and still having that average rating above a 4 is still pretty damn good. So let's see what people rated this one globally. So let's see. This person gave it a full 5 out of 5 saying yummy. What else? We got a 4.25 here saying coconut slushy. Yeah, I definitely get a good amount of coconut. If you're not a fan of coconut, you may not like this one just because it's mixed in cohesively with all the other fruit flavors you get with the pineapple, the citrus, a little notes in it, and then the cherry, making it like more of like a maraschino cherry kind of flavor. This one's definitely not too tart. I would say I would give it maybe like a 1.5 out of 5 for tartness for me. But let's look here and see what this guy. Okay, what the hell? So this guy gave it a 1 out of 5, saying, is the sticker covering the tab a thing? Took me 10 minutes to get the beer open and take one swig of coconut-covered cherry and dump. This is going to be a hard pass for me. So this guy must not be a fan of coconut. If you're not a fan of coconut or anything like that, this is definitely not going to be the beer for you. But let's see. We got another 425 here, purchased off Tavor, which is how I got mine. We got a 375 here saying fruity goodness. And then last but not least, we're going to see this is a 3.5, and he just took a picture of some Scooby-Doo stuff, which is interesting. But other than that, yeah, ratings are pretty damn good on this one for sure. So let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings on our end over here. First, we're going to look at can art. Because 903 does a lot of interesting can arts. They kind of take different themes, and whenever they come out with a specific beer, they try to make the can art its own individual theme, which I can definitely appreciate. So with this one, there's definitely all the blues and stuff showing they're on the beach somewhere, and they're or like at a resort, and you can see a shark up to like a swim up bar with a beer in its hand. And I think I just love the colors. I love the light blues in there, making him seem like he's at a beach and he's in a tropical place. Almost has that kind of cabana look with like the roof being like leaves and all that. So it's a really, really nice touch. Definitely something that would catch my attention if I saw a shark in a swimming pool just at a swim up bar drinking a beer. That's definitely something pretty funny to look at, especially if I saw that in a liquor store bottle shop. It would definitely catch my attention. But other than that, yeah, absolutely phenomenal labeling. Of course, 903 always has that token kind of style they do on there with their logo, and then the name of the beer, and then kind of a little description of what the beer has in it, and like the description of the beer itself. So overall, this is really token 903 when it comes to how they do their labels, but it's still pretty awesome just because who doesn't like a shark's in a swimming pool drinking a beer? Let's be honest. So I'm definitely going to give this a solid 4.5 out of 5 for can art for me. Definitely really, really enjoy that one. But let's look and see. If I got this beer in a flight at 903 Brewers, would I get another one? To be honest, this is definitely one of the better tropical fruit like themed ones from their slushy line that I've had. So this is definitely something I will get another one if I ever get the opportunity to. And if I got it in the flight, 100% would be getting a glass of it by itself. It's that damn good. So let's see what else. Other than that, let's try to figure out what the final rating on this guy is going to be. Of course, like I said, this is definitely up there with one of the better tropical fruit themed Fritter Berliner Weisses that I've had from 903. So that's definitely, I'm definitely giving them a lot of props for that. This one's fantastic. Loving all the flavors cohesively working together and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't have that much tartness to it. Definitely liking that nice kind of almost nutmeggy, cinnamon sugary bakery note that's in there that I didn't expect to be in there, and I think it's a really nice touch. But overall, yeah, 903 knocked it out of the park with yet another one. So big shouts to 903. They are always doing great stuff over there. If you can get your hands on anything from these guys, especially when it comes to their fruited Berliner Weisses, most of the time you will not be disappointed. It's a lot of their stuff's that good. But if you're looking to possibly find some 903 in your area, I can always recommend going to your local liquor store or bottle shop, talking to the person who buys the stuff, ask if their distributor has 903, because if they do, they'll be able to bring it in, or their distributor can work on finding a way to bring it in themselves. So you can always rely on asking your local liquor store or bottle shop to see if they can get something in. But if you can't do that, of course, there's a bunch of places. Let's see, verified locations that have 903 from this page on Untapped. Let's see, we got JS Liquors and Junior Market in Los Angeles, California. We got the Auburn Wine and Spirits in Wichita, Kansas. We got the Jacob Liquor Exchange in Wichita. We got one from San Diego called Ale Tales Taproom. And then we got one here in Phoenix, which is the Craft Beer Quick Stop. So these places are pretty well known for having 903 in there, and you may be able to find the Up Bar Slushy available in there, or you might find this Southern Grist one that I compared as a pretty good similar beer to this, to where you may be able to have a similar drinking experience and still try a brand new beer. So overall, if you're in any of those areas, you may have a good chance of picking that stuff up. Other than that, you might be able to get your hands on this stuff through a different service, which you guys hear me talk about all the time when it comes to getting beer delivered to you and all that stuff. I always take advantage of Tavor. Tavor is a great platform. Link to their websites down in the description below if you want to check them out. They'll direct you to their App Store app where you can do it on either Android or iPhone, and it's a beer subscription / beer delivery service where you can get stuff delivered to you. It's a really, really fun platform, and you get it works more if you're in a more suburban area, because they take advantage of local carrier services and all that. So if you're in more of a rural kind of off the beaten path kind of spot, it may be a little bit more difficult for you to get stuff delivered to you from Untapped. I mean, not Untapped, Tavour. But biggest recommendation is just download the app and create your account. When you're creating your account, they'll make you put in your zip code right away, and they'll let you know if you can get stuff delivered to you. So that's my biggest recommendation, because 903 is dropping on Tavour all the time. So you'll always have a good opportunity to get your hands on some of their stuff. But last but not least, if you're on social media, if you're on YouTube all the time and you like just hanging out, see what people are doing, and if you're a craft beer fan, you need to get yourself over to Untapped. It's an amazing platform. You guys hear me talk about it every time I do a review. It's available on Android or iPhone, or you can even download it through, well, not download it, but use it through the desktop. They use the website. It's a really easy way to traverse craft beer, pretty much, where you can check in beers, get badges. It's Facebook for beer drinkers. That's the best way for me to describe it. It's just an absolutely fun time. You can check in, like I said, check in beers, get badges. You can see what's popular in your area. You can see what's popular globally, what's trending, all that stuff. It's just a really, really fun time on there. You can see people like me, Ian, Face Meat's on there, Duchess is on there, Lee, Not the Real Gerard Butler's on there, Logan's on there. There's a bunch of us that are big craft beer fans that are over on Untapped, just having a good time checking in beers and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really, really big recommendation to where if you're a craft beer drinker, you need to get over to Untapped, because that's where all the fun's happening, in my opinion. So other than that, I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It helped me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live and do another review. And I just want to shout out everybody in chat for hanging out, taking time out of your day to watch me. Of course, you're watching this on the replay. Big shout out to you as well. But other than that, I think that is what I have for you guys today. So I'm going to end this like I always end it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see y'all next time, people. Cheers.